Well, that is what we've come to see. A lovely family. And then not allowed. What do you mean? Mate, is it okay to film around the statue and stuff around this area?
I wouldn't say it's okay. It's a residential area, definitely.
These people here.
Yeah, they wouldn't love. But if you are filming the landscape, no problem.
Okay. It's an irony that London City Airport's on the other side of the river. We had loads of problems there about filming and not being allowed.
It's a residential area. Someone would say, "Look, you caught me naked."
Yeah. Ever? Where?
We normally try not get people film with the residential area.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Uber boat.
This one, yeah. From this is okay.
So I can film that way, but not.
That
not.
way, but not in the family residential area.
Is that the airport, London City Airport over there?
London City Airport is over there.
Oh, is that in there?
Yes, you can't see what is behind. This is East London.
Yes, of course. I can see the tower. So I can film over there from this side.
Yeah, the river, whatever.
The river is, of course, not public. It's heavily regulated. It even has its own authority.
River, whatever, that's public.
Because if I went to the airport,
yeah,
what do you think they would say if I was filming and recording?
I hope you're not recording me.
Yeah, of course.
But you are not.
Yeah, not allowed. What do you mean? But not allowed for what? For what? Why wouldn't I be allowed? Who's told me I'm not allowed?
Yeah.
No, sorry. I'm sorry. You don't want to be filmed, then I won't film. But like, what?
Of course. I guess you are not.
I've been here for about an hour, and I've been filming the entire time. Because sort of like the impression. What do you think of the statue? That's what I've come to see. Do you know what this statue is? You worked here for quite a while.
No, I'm a visitor.
Oh, a visitor?
Yeah, I work on the other side.
Oh, I see. But like you've seen the statue before.
Yeah, I've just seen it.
And you've only just seen it.
Yeah. Oh. I'm normally on the other side.
Ah, I see.
But I've been given. I know whatever is public domain is public, but private residential area you can't.
Yeah. Yeah, because like
that's what you asked me. That's what I can tell you.
By the same token, if somebody was standing in their window naked, that
was an example of
privacy. Yeah, that's something that's created, isn't it? Using a fence or a gate, usually.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. Do you want to give your name? I didn't think so. That's interesting, isn't it? In this scenario, over the other side from the airport, I am allowed to film, but over this side, you say. Over here, sir. I wonder what's so special about this bit. I mean, imagine living here. My goodness. It would be absolutely beautiful, wouldn't it? Hello? What's the matter? It would be lovely, wouldn't it? I saw someone sitting on their balcony. The balconies are small. I wonder what the actual places are like. Yeah, yes, sir. It's on the radio now. Oh, I thought he called me over. But that's lovely, isn't it? And then on the other side, you've got a headless demon walking towards you. That's nice, isn't it? If you've got kids or something, especially. And also, from up there. What about people up there, sir? What about... What about people up in those cable cars? They could be using their cameras, couldn't they? Okay, well I'll just carry on then. Yeah, there's people. Obviously, they'll be filming from those cable cars. Um, but I wonder what this is here. This light. The guy's still on the radio. They're having long discussions now. I wonder what this red light here denotes. Up means red. Doesn't that sort of like negate the need for a light if you've got poles in the way? But that doesn't negate the need for a gate or a fence or like if you want privacy. Amazes me about these places. That's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, I can see like some of those people in those cable cars make some good images out of that, and yet Mr. Ignoramus over there seems to think that not allowed. I can see a woman up there. What the hell? What the hell? Oh, oh my goodness me! I thought she was frozen solid.
From the control room.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
It's a private line.
Is it? Where did it say that?
Very private. Yes.
Yeah. It has
nothing private. Nothing public here.
Where does it say that?
It's private.
Yeah, but private. I know private. I've been over to the airport and it has a sign saying private property on it. All private property. Yes. Otherwise, how would I know?
I'm telling you, that's why I'm working. That's why I'm here.
Yeah. Well, I accept you're right that it probably is private property.
Not probably. It is private.
Well, all property is private. And this property is no different, but it's accessible, isn't it, to the public? I mean, there's stairs here, like which suggests that you're allowed to come in. Yeah, are there something special about the people here, or different?
Yeah, because
right, okay, if you're going to carry on your radio, then I'm going to carry on.
Private, but he's trespassing, obviously.
Right.
So,
where does it say private? It's all I've asked.
He says he doesn't see anywhere. Doesn't it? I'm telling you, it's private.
It does. Private property needs to be denoted as private property. Otherwise, like, how would I know? I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing. You're arguing with me. So you came up to me. Would you like me to speak to him? You know, I don't understand why they give employment to the people who don't even understand. How can they enforce a rule? That idiot's going to start following me, no doubt. Now, this area here has got a gate on it, or a fence. So that's, you see, so simple to create privacy if that's something which bothers you. Now the sun is very intense and it's beginning to burn me. It's a solar maximum year. So I'm going to use that shade in the building to shade from the glaring sun. I wonder whether Einstein is now going to start following me. You see, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that you were going to come down here, sir. That's why I was just waiting here for you. I even said it on the camera for everybody to see. Because you're a fool. You don't know the law, and yet you're throwing your weight around, antagonising me, and now you're illegally following me around, which you're not allowed to do. Where's your identification? He is wearing his security, I'll give him that. But you're not allowed to be following me around. Just making a fool of yourself. Why don't you answer the question? Why don't you answer the question? It's legally, it's a legal obligation that you have to have your ID on show. I didn't think you had it on show. You have. Accept my apology because I can do that. Now, can you answer my question, sir? Look, there's a sign over here. Look, there's a sign saying our sales and lettings team. Who do you think this sign's for, sir? Who do you think the sign's for? Excuse me, sir. I can't. I mean, I just want to ask you that one question. Just focus on his phone. It tells you, doesn't it? 0203 993. If you want to, buy one or let one. Well, can you ask your control? Ask your control who the sign would be for. Who would the sign be for sales and lettings? You should just leave me alone. Let me get on with it. You've got no jurisdiction on me filming and being here whatsoever. No, there's no reason. You can put a camera on me, of course you can. Let me show you what I will do. They say that if they want to film me, then that's
You can just create your own privacy by turning into Lawrence of Arabia.
That's fine. Now, can you answer my question, sir? Who is the sign for saying sales and lettings? Just lower it down, some residents are coming out. But they're not pestering me, are they, like you are? I'm not even here for this today. Yeah, keep an eye. But if you're identified to be following me around like you have been, that's against the law, sir. It's called harassment, alarm and distress. That's if the law were to not be such an ass. The statue represents a demon, which is a minion of the devil. What's the difference? I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying. Well, you know what I'm saying. Hello.
How are you, sir?
How are you doing? Good. I don't understand what the guy's problem is. Like, he says to me, like, I'm not allowed to film this building.
If you are just making just for randomly is okay, but the resident of the people, they mind. We are basically the state security. For example, this is your flat, and the people inside, they are just a little bit curious about that.
Right. So say like if we take the 5th floor right there. Look, I can't see much, can I, from there? Over there, they've got cable cars. We go right up, and then you could actually look down into the people's properties, and with a zoom you could film and everything else, no problem. But then how would you enforce that? This is the question I was asking this gentleman.
Basically, all this land is a private land.
Right, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that how are you going to enforce people? This guy doesn't want me filming the building.
If you go and make a video from there...
No, I'd like to answer my question. How are you going to enforce the people in the cable cars not to film?
Then the cable car, they have their own security guys. They are responsible if anything happen on that area.
Good answer. Right, okay. Now there's I've got another question. There's another question I asked. Round there, it says lettings and sales. Phone this number on the email, okay?
Okay, boss. Okay.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to get these things sold, would they?
Yeah.
Who's that sign for?
Yeah, if you go...
No, can you answer the question? Who is that sign for on the building?
Some of the buildings, some of the flats are private flats.
Right, well, that's not the answer.
Yeah.
I say, okay, there's a sign round there saying sales and lettings. It's round there.
Yeah.
You saw it, didn't you?
For passers-by, sir.
For passers-by.
Yes.
Now, so how are the passers-by going to see the sign if they're not allowed onto the property to look at the property?
One thing is being allowed onto the property. Another thing is filming this private property.
What makes you think that?
So,
why do you think that?
You asked what the sign is meant for.
Who is it for?
For passers-by.
Yeah, for people to sell or let the buildings.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and also, how do you know I'm not a resident?
No, even you are the resident, boss. The rule is for the resident as well. Even the resident have, if, for example, there are 100 flats.
Yeah.
Every people have their own privacy, and.
If I was a visitor or resident here, how would you have known the difference? Because you
Boss,
came up to
look.
me and instantly said, "Are you allowed to film in your house?"
It's your house. You
Well,
are twisting things.
I'm not twisting things at
Yeah,
all. I'm
sir.
just asking relevant and.
But you have done now your video. You completed your video.
Finished the whole.
Whenever I'm completed is when I'll be
Okay,
completed.
Yeah.
The law of the country, sir, this is important that you know the law if you're going to try and enforce it. The law of the country is that in a public area or a publicly accessible area,
Yes.
I can film anything I can see.
No, I will show you the rule of this site. So basically, this is a private, and as I already explained to you, and I will tell you the policy of the site, how they're going to stop.
But
For example,
I'm talking about the law. I'm not talking about their policy. I'm talking about the law of
look,
this
we
this
have
land.
been hired by this private company,
that-
and this land owner we have been hired in.
Is
yeah?
that Night
We
Dragon?
are policing Night Dragon. Yes.
You work for Night
Yeah,
Dragon.
Yeah, yeah.
You work for Night Dragon as well, do you?
We are giving services to the Night Dragon. Yes.
Okay.
So basically, what the rule is, we are following the rule.
Why is it called
If you
Night
think
Dragon?
that-
Why is it called Night Dragon?
Huh?
Why do you? Why is it called Night Dragon?
Huh?
Why do you
Yeah, ask them.
ask him? Am I asking him?
Look,
Did you finish now? Sorry.
I'm putting on.
Yeah.
He's putting out. Look, I mean, I'm not even here for this. I was here for the statue.
Okay. No
What do you
worries,
think
no
about the
worries.
statue? Do you know what the statue is?
I hear one of the big artists have been made that statue.
Damien
From the
Hirst,
front,
yeah, Damien Hirst.
Damien
I'm
Hirst,
getting burnt. I know it's all right for yourself, maybe yourself. I'm getting burnt. I'm going to end up like a lobster. I'm going to look like a lobster here. But the thing is, what do you think about the statue? That's why I've come here today to do the.
What I think about statue, everybody have different taste of art, and
Can we come round here? Come round here because like I literally am getting sizzled. You want to check my bag, sir? Would you like to check my bag? Call the police. That's what usually happens. You know, when people are ignorant of the law, then they'll end up making fools of themselves. I'm just trying to like stop you making a fool of yourself.
do you have a YouTube channel, sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah, possibly. Look, come round here because I cannot sit in that sun. This is more. This is the reason that I came towards the building in the first place, because the sun is. Can you see my neck is burning? I can feel myself burning. Well, this is what it's like for me. But then, I've come here to shade from the sun, and then I've got this fella coming up to me saying, and it's a good point, isn't it?
Boss, we have the security area.
Yeah.
And anything suspicious, we can see, we can tell and come and speak.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
So that's our job.
Yeah.
So my colleague is come because
But he didn't. He said.
he's making the building pictures and he come here doing his job.
Yeah, but like he said, I'm not allowed to film.
Yeah, that's what we haven't told that any people on this side who have been filming the building
Okay,
area
well you've done your job then,
for
haven't
the
you?
protection of the resident is not allowed. If you have been against the policy, you
The
can
not
raise
allowed
the issue.
thing.
If you are against this policy, you can raise the issue with the management and put your information in the notice. But we are following the rule policy of the site.
Oh,
That is it.
look, the management are well aware of what I'm saying.
No, every video, as you said that you have to follow the law, but most of the law, maybe you know better than us.
Right, yeah, I mean, and only because I've done it before. Yeah, I'm not trying to be.
Every day is the learning day. You, me, every day we are learning.
Yeah.
It's not about that we are saying to you that you are wrong and we are wrong. We
Yeah,
are
he
doing
did.
our job.
He said that I was filming. I'm not allowed to film. He
Yeah,
says.
that's why I
Yeah,
already said
right.
to you.
And that's when I was at the statue area,
I wasn't on the private property, was I? So even before I came on the private
Outside
property,
the statue is also the private property.
everything is private
every
property.
Land, all this land.
All
from
land.
here until the end of the
In this
Jordan
country,
Highway.
sir, all land is private property. Yes, it is. Yes.
But there is some place for the public that is legally public can come and make anything they want to do.
Well,
Then-
okay.
Then
But
the council people will be involved. But
Right.
here there is no council people involvement.
Right,
Here
but-
we are the site people, security people to look after the site,
Of-
and we are responsible.
right, but like I made a point about because I had the snooze thing. I think I've dropped it. Right, but the if I wanted like on the radio, I heard someone say get the camera on him and everything else. Right, so I put the snood on, covered my face. Right, you know why? To create my privacy. Now, by the same token, these people, I'm not arguing it's not private, but they have got the ability, the sort of finance or whatever, to be able to put up a gate, a fence or whatever. And then if I was to breach that gate or fence or everything, then as security, you can start sort of saying that this is a...
As you have been said, sir, that when you hear that the controller say that move the camera on you, you trying to hide yourself because of your privacy, isn't it? So same,
Right.
all these
My privacy, hang on, let me answer. My privacy is my responsibility, yes. Yours is yours,
But their
and your
privacy is our
company's
responsibility.
is your
Because
company's.
these people hire us.
Yes.
All these tenants hire us.
Right, so they're not making your
We
job,
are their eyes.
they're not making your job any easier then by making it publicly accessible, putting signs up for the public to read, and not having that means private property keep out signs, things like that. Otherwise, how would you know if you were a child, if you had special needs, if you were blind, if you couldn't see? How would you know that you're walking along? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Come down. Yeah. Now,
Yeah.
well, what happened? What happened that changed your mind?
As you have been explained to us, we already explained to you the side road, and you said that you have been making for your own some social media, some purpose.
Perhaps, yeah. But as I said to the gentleman, my name's Hugh, right? And what's your name? First name? Just
Manu Khan.
Yeah, Manuel. Manuel, do you know that it's a criminal offence, punishable up to... Yes, you know what I'm going to say, don't you? You know what I'm going to say, don't you?
No, you can say anything. Boss.
Your identity is supposed to be on show at all times. Those three words, at all times. It's a criminal offence for you not to be on security, approaching members of the public, and for you not to have your ID on show. I thought your colleague didn't have it as well. He did. I'm not seeking it.
My ID is just in my car because as emergency I came.
Listen, look, I've read the rules, and it says, as a security, you must have it round, like as your colleague has, ranging it on your arm. Some of the people have it on their arm at all times, and it's a criminal offence. Do you know what the punishment is for that if you get caught? An unlimited fine. I don't know what that means, and anything up to 6 months in prison. So you might want to put it on. I'm not trying to get it. You just told me that. So I don't need it, do I? Same with your colleague. I would. I'm down here. I didn't come here for this today. But
I totally understand
all I would like to do before I leave here is to get the impression or the feeling that your friend, your colleague, has acknowledged what I say to be. It's the law. It's not my fault. It's not me who makes the
We
law.
all are bound for the law. If the law don't exist, we didn't have to manage everybody.
Yeah, but your
we
policy.
need to respect the law. You understand?
Yeah.
And what you're saying, I totally agree with you, and I respect for that.
Yeah. So I was on the statue area,
Yeah.
right, which is a separate bit of private property from this bit.
All are connected.
Yeah.
Until from here until the end of the road, John Harrison Way is all the Night Dragon property.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Night Dragons. Thing.
Yeah.
And
You start from there until at the end John Harrison Way.
yeah. What I'm concerned about though is your colleague here is going to do the same thing again. Like, I was harmlessly just talking to people asking about the statue. I mean, that's why I've come here today about the
But
statue.
you're more than welcome. I
And,
understand. That's why you.
And then your colleague approached me Sorry, I approached your colleague and said, is it okay if I film and everything else? And then he said, yeah, you can film over there, but you can't film over
From the
here.
mobile, you can film anywhere. There's no problem.
That's what I'd
Yeah,
like him
from
to.
the mobile, you can make film here, everywhere. Nobody. Have
Would
a
I
problem.
be-
with the professional camera? Yes, we can come and involve to you because of the commercial purpose. Then we say you
Yeah,
have to
if
take
you're-
permission from the management.
Yeah, if you're.
Mobile is allowed everywhere in this site.
Yeah.
No, not harmable until you have been making like a video of some of the buildings here. Then the as a member of the
Well, that's not correct because even with if I had a professional camera, I would still be allowed to film. It's just I know what you're saying. If you had a studio team with you and stuff like that,
Yes.
and you were going to put it
on.
onto.
We will ask you what the reason you are making the video recording.
Because I can.
Yeah.
Because I can, and because I don't like being told I'm not allowed. Because we hear this all the time. You're not allowed, not allowed, not allowed, not allowed, not allowed. Well, I look at the law book, and it says allowed, and I'm concerned that your colleague here hasn't acknowledged that I'm allowed to do this because it's publicly accessible. It says come in. It has signs for the public to read. So otherwise they wouldn't be able to sell the building. They wouldn't be able to sell the lots if they didn't have any access to the public. And notwithstanding if I was blind, a child, or whatever else, but I don't think you're. And I can see that you've used your brain, and have accepted that. Okay, and so far as I'm concerned, if it was just me and you, I'd go right now. But except for the fact I'm getting burnt. But I'm still concerned about your colleague. I think that he has not.
No, we are going now. Me and my colleagues are going now.
Yeah, but he hasn't.
Now.
But he hasn't changed his stance. I can see just by his. You can see, can't you? But he's not changed his opinion about what I've said.
Sometimes when we are meeting with first person, sometimes we feel that maybe somebody have different. But every people have different approach.
Yeah.
So
Well-
he's a very humble colleague and he's very.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad person,
Yeah.
but you've got no right to do that. And I know why you're doing it. Like dragons and stuff and whatever else and demons.
As I said,
That's what that statue is, by the way.
The side road, sir.
Yeah, that's what the statue is. It's a demon.
We are following the side road. Whatever information coming from the control,
Yeah,
we
but-
have to obey them.
You work for that. Are you filming?
Yes, we are recording as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, do you want me to tell what the law is on that?
yeah.
You're as a data handler,
Yeah.
you are obliged by law.
By law, that's
This is
we have to
so
inform that we
it's
are
a
recording.
criminal offence not to do it, to inform the person that you're filming as a data handler. It's under the GDPR rules, and yet you fail to do it. You're going to get in trouble if you don't listen to what I'm saying, and like you have. I think you have. So I've got no problem with you. Your colleague has not. The head on one side, slightly to the thing, is like I don't like you, and it's not about whether you like me or not. It's about that's what the law is.
It's totally. It's not about like and dislike. He's doing his
Yeah.
job, and we are doing our job. So.
So is he going to do that again? Like come up to people and say, "Don't you can film that way, but you can't film that
We are
way."
coming to the people just to ask what reason they have been making this
He
recording and
said
everything.
I can film that
Yeah.
way, but I can't film that way.
As I said, that we are here to keep an eye on the people, what they are doing, what
Yeah.
action they are doing.
Yeah, and not to sort of tell them you can film that way, you can't film that way, because you've got no right to do that. And not have, your idea or the camera thing. It could get you in trouble. That's like if it's a criminal offence, if a police officer decided to take action, and I don't want that to happen to you because Manuel, you're a nice guy. Where are you from, Guy? Originally.
I'm from Pakistan.
Pakistan, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I'd like to go to Pakistan. I'd love to go Pakistan and Bangladesh. I'd like to go and have a look at that. India, obviously India as well. But yeah.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, it's been nice to meet you. Try and have a word in his shell. Have a word in his shell. But the demon statue. Do you have any opinions on that? That's why I've come today.
As I hear that is a very famous, statue and
It's a
comes from
demon.
France.
You know what a demon is, don't you?
Demon here?
Demon.
No, I don't know.
What do they call it in Pakistan? They've got a different name for it. you know, the small black figure, the woman, what do they call that? I can't think of it, but it's basically a devil or a worker, somebody who's working for a devil, like a minion of the devil.
Okay.
Like, or it could be the devil itself. It's an evil entity, demon. I'm just trying to think of what
The devil, we call them shaitan.
Shaitan, right? Okay, I didn't know that. I was thinking of something else, but
We call shaitan.
Shaitan, right? So, and in Spanish they call it Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the statue?
As I said to you, I respect every people who have the person who have made it.
Damien
And
Hirst.
I
Yeah.
respect for their art, and many people like it, their art.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a different thing. But as a respect, I don't say anything that what I can say about this statue.
Well, did Knight's Dragon
People
pay?
coming, they're enjoying, they're looking the statue, they enjoy it.
It's good.
And
It's good. It's good. It's
Yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
But did Knight's Dragon pay for that?
I think so. Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Guess what? No.
Okay.
The taxpayer paid for that. £14 million.
Yeah, 14 million more. That's
Yeah.
why
We were good enough the taxpayer was good enough to give Knight's Dragon the statue. You know, that's good of us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good of you, me and you. We paid for that. We paid for that statue. Knight's Dragon, I don't know how much tax they pay. Who pay tax? But you know, it's been listen. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. I really have. You can shake my hand as well. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
You've said it, made me want to do it all the more. You've made your job harder, haven't you? I'm trying to help you out, dude. Probably even that's not allowed. But oh, and by the way, YouTube think that this video here will be the best for you to watch next. If not, then here or even here is the newest art form on the block.